What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, I have another rumor that has come out very recently for you guys from a Dolphins reporter about the Dolphins potentially making a deal with the Detroit Lions on draft day, which is today. So let's get it started. Alright everyone, so basically earlier today, as you guys know, I put up a video of the rumor that the Dolphins were looking to trade up to acquire the Lions' number 3 pick in this year's draft. However, they didn't want to give us number 5, which, as we know as Lions fans, that means they're going to have to give us a lot. Now, they do have 14 picks in this year's draft, so they can give us a pretty good return when it comes to mid-round picks. But the problem is you're dropping back from number 3 to 18 after Bob Quinn has said when he was, doing an interview with Lions writers that there's tiers to it, right? There's tier 1 players and there's tier 2 players. I think we're all assuming that at number 18, you're talking about at least tier 2 players, maybe tier 3. Probably not that tier 1 anymore. Now, he didn't specify how many players were in there, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of the cutoff, right? We know Jeffrey Okudah, Derek Brown, those guys have been what all the talks have been, right? Isaiah Simmons. So that would be really far-fetched if the Lions were able to pull a deal like that. It would shock me. However, there has been a report put out recently from a Dolphins reporter named Armando Salguero. I think that's how you say his name. You can look him up. He's on Twitter. And he said this: "One final thing on the Dolphins-Detroit trade situation. I've been told tonight by a person familiar with what Lions are thinking that they are making plans for having the number 5 overall selection tomorrow night. Miami's first scheduled pick of the draft tomorrow." So they apparently, according to Armando, again, is a Dolphins reporter. I've heard he's legit. The thought is here the Detroit Lions are preparing for the number 5 pick. So let's just assume this is real. Now, obviously, there's smoke screens, there's lies, there's rumors. Not everything's true. But let's just assume for a second that this is true and that it is legit. The Detroit Lions are planning to move to take that number 5 pick and pick with the number 5 selection. What does this mean for the Detroit Lions? Well, picking at number 5 is not a bad thing at all. I think it's actually a really good thing depending on who you're targeting. Now, obviously, the Lions in a situation, yes, the virtual draft, they want to have things planned out. That's probably what they're trying to do right now. Honestly, I don't know if they're sleeping or they're doing this right now. But I do know that this is something that they kind of want to be prepared for when draft time comes because of everything, the weird draft, how it's set up with the virtual and everything like that. So I'm sure they're talking through deals. They probably do this all the time. So this is a very interesting situation because if the Detroit Lions move back to number 5, they're in a situation where they can probably get one of their top 2 prospects and still acquire more picks, which us as Lions fans just sounds smart. Like, why would you not? Personally, for me, the only reason I'm staying at number 3 is that I want Isaiah Simmons or Chase Young somehow falls. That's it. That's the only reason I'm staying at number 3. If you're at that position where you're like, okay, I don't need Isaiah Simmons, and as most of us believe, Chase Young is going to go number 2, and Chase Young does go number 2. Unless you want Isaiah Simmons, trading back is just smart. It doesn't make sense to sit at number 3 when you can acquire 5 or 6 and get some more picks and still acquire the guy that you want in the draft. That being Jeffrey Okudah, Derek Brown, Javon Kinlaw. I think those kind of guys come into the mix like a Javon Kinlaw at number 5. I'm just pointing it out. Also, don't sleep on tackles. If the Dolphins are literally trading up for a tackle at number 3, the Giants could take a tackle at 3. That could land Isaiah Simmons to the Lions if they move back to number 5. Don't count that out either. But again, the Lions could be looking for a right tackle. I don't know. That would shock me. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting Jeffrey Okudah. But again, Isaiah Simmons could be there if the Giants go with the tackle. Sitting at number 5 is a lot better for us Lions fans. For me, personally, because it's just a lot more calm. Now, if they move back and they don't acquire 5 and they get 18, 26, and a couple second-round picks, now everything's all of a sudden going to get crazy. Right? We're like, oh my gosh, what the heck's going on? I don't think the Lions moving back that far, but I did want to give you guys this update. I know it's late or early, whatever you want to call it. I did want to keep you guys updated on what I've been hearing. Obviously, this may not actually happen. It's a rumor. And I just want to give that to you guys, keep you guys updated. But moving back to 5 and acquiring more picks, I think is a beautiful situation. I mean, we've been doing it for a while now. Maybe they can acquire 26. I would say probably not. I'm thinking if they move up from 5 to 3 based on previous drafts, maybe the Lions could acquire 2 second-round picks or second and a third. And I would actually be okay with that because I think it allows you then to take playmakers. You acquire another second, you could go with a top running back. You acquire another third, you go with the top wide receiver. You could have some fun with it. So I definitely love the thought of trading back to 5 unless you're set on getting Isaiah Simmons, but I wouldn't count out the fact that he won't be available at 5. So I do want to point that out. So there you go. There's your update. Armando Salguero, I think that's how you say it. You can check him out on Twitter, again, a Dolphins reporter. So there you go. Let me hear your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.